In modern life, the refrigerator is almost an indispensable part of every household. We often think that simply putting food into the fridge can keep it fresh, clean, and safe. However, the truth is not that simple. There are certain types of food that, if stored incorrectly, especially in the fridge, can cause unpredictable health consequences, particularly for the elderly, those whose digestive systems, immunity, and ability to adapt to changes are no longer as robust as in their youth. Over time, aging makes the elderly's bodies more sensitive to bacteria, toxins, or small changes in food. A vegetable stored in overly cold conditions can lose up to 70% of its nutritional value. A fruit improperly stored in the fridge can develop mold or toxins invisible to the naked eye. These small details, if overlooked, can cause the elderly to experience bloating, indigestion, food poisoning, or even internal organ damage if consumed regularly over a long period. So, what are the foods that elderly people absolutely should not put in the fridge? And conversely, what are the types that must be kept cold to avoid turning into a bacteria hotspot? Today's video will help you clearly understand four types of foods that should not be stored in the refrigerator because they may lose nutritional value, change chemical structure, or produce toxins when chilled. At the same time, we will also explore four types of foods that must be kept in a cold environment to avoid spoilage and bacterial growth, ensuring absolute safety for health, especially for the elderly, those undergoing treatment, or with weakened immune systems. Listen carefully because sometimes just changing a small habit in how you store food can help prevent disease, prolong life, and bring peace to you and your loved ones in the family. Here are the foods that should not be stored in the refrigerator. 1. Potatoes, a familiar food but easily misunderstood. Potatoes are a familiar and popular food in the daily meals of many families around the world, especially for elderly people. They are not only a rich source of starch, but also contain many vitamins, minerals, and fiber that are very good for health. However, when storing potatoes, especially for the elderly, attention must be paid to preserve nutritional value and avoid health risks. Improperly stored potatoes can sprout or turn green due to the formation of solanine, a natural toxin that can cause poisoning, stomach pain, nausea, and even serious poisoning if consumed in large quantities. Therefore, potatoes should not be stored in damp places, under direct light, or at low temperatures like in the refrigerator, as the cold temperature can convert the starch in potatoes into sugar, making them sweeter and increasing the risk of sprouting, color changes, and nutritional quality loss. Instead, potatoes should be kept in a dry, cool, well-ventilated place, avoiding direct sunlight. The ideal storage temperature for potatoes is usually between 7 to 10 degrees Celsius, which helps maintain freshness and limits sprout growth and toxin formation. Additionally, potatoes should be stored separately from onions, garlic, or other strong-smelling vegetables, as this will accelerate spoilage. For elderly people, potatoes are not only nutritious, but also easy to digest, providing necessary energy and supporting digestive system function. However, potatoes should be thoroughly cooked and sprouts or green parts removed to avoid danger. Potato dishes such as mashed potatoes, boiled potatoes, or stews are very suitable and easy to eat for older adults. In summary, potatoes are nutritious, easy to prepare, and an important energy source for the elderly. To ensure safety and maintain optimal nutritional quality, proper storage by avoiding refrigeration and keeping them in a dry, cool place is essential. This is the key to making every meal delicious, nutritious, and safe for health, helping the elderly maintain strength and long-lasting health. 2. Tomatoes. Don't rush to put them in the fridge if you don't want to waste a natural miracle. Tomatoes are one of the most familiar fruits in our daily meals, especially for the elderly. Not only do they bring a delicious fresh flavor, but tomatoes are also regarded as a natural miracle due to their rich nutritional content and remarkable health benefits. Tomatoes contain plenty of vitamin C, vitamin A, potassium, along with antioxidants like lycopene, a compound that helps prevent chronic diseases, supports cardiovascular health, and slows down the aging process. Therefore, tomatoes not only add color and flavor to meals, but also contribute to improving health and boosting the immune system for older adults. However, many people have the habit of storing tomatoes in the refrigerator, without realizing that this can reduce their nutritional value and affect the fruit's quality. The cold temperature in the fridge breaks down the cellular structure of tomatoes, causing them to lose their softness, natural flavor, and possibly become bland and dry. Especially lycopene and vitamins in tomatoes are very sensitive to low temperatures, so storing them in a cold environment for a long time will significantly decrease these valuable nutrients. Moreover, tomatoes stored in the fridge tend to darken and become less appealing when cooked and eaten. Therefore, to keep their delicious taste, if bright color and preserve essential nutrients, tomatoes should be stored at room temperature in a cool, well ventilated place, away from direct sunlight and high humidity. If tomatoes are still green, they can be left at room temperature to ripen naturally. If they are ripe, they can be kept at room temperature for 1 to 2 days before use and absolutely should not be stored in the fridge for too long. For the elderly, tomatoes are not only tasty but also help provide antioxidants, protect cells, prevent cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, and support digestion. Thus, proper tomato storage is a way to preserve this natural miracle so that every meal is full of nutrients, helping enhance health and maintain youthfulness and vitality in older adults. In summary, tomatoes are an excellent nutritious food, but to fully utilize their nutritional value and keep their delicious flavor, you should avoid storing tomatoes in the refrigerator. Keep them in a cool, room temperature place to maintain freshness and maximize health benefits. A simple yet extremely important tip that elderly people should not overlook. 3. Bananas. The golden fruit for elderly health, but not meant for the fridge. Bananas are known as a popular, familiar fruit highly favored worldwide, especially in the daily diet of older adults. With their bright yellow color and naturally sweet, pleasant taste, bananas are not only a delicious snack, but also a rich source of nutrition that is extremely beneficial for health. Bananas contain a high amount of potassium, an essential mineral that helps maintain cardiovascular function, balance blood pressure, improve muscle and nervous system functions. Additionally, bananas are rich in vitamin B6, vitamin C, fiber, and various enzymes that aid digestion, boost energy, and support overall health, making them especially suitable for the elderly. However, what many people don't know is that bananas are not suitable for refrigeration, especially when they are still green or not fully ripe. The cold temperature causes bananas to quickly develop black spots on their skin, lose their attractive bright yellow color, and change their internal texture, making them hard, losing their natural sweetness, and significantly reducing their deliciousness. This happens because exposure to low temperatures disrupts enzymatic metabolism in bananas, leading to pigment destruction in the skin, causing blackening and rapid spoilage. Although the banana flesh inside may still be edible, the appearance and eating experience become much less appealing. For older adults, bananas provide a quick energy source, supplement potassium, enhance heart health, aid digestion, and soothe the mind. Therefore, proper banana storage is very important to preserve nutritional value and keep the fruit fresh. Ideally, bananas should be kept at room temperature in a cool, well ventilated place, away from direct sunlight, and not near other ripe fruits that emit ethylene gas, which speeds up ripening. Once bananas are fully ripe, if you want to keep them longer, you may refrigerate them, but note that the skin will still darken, which is normal and does not affect the inside flesh. Moreover, bananas offer many special health benefits for the elderly, such as improving mood, reducing stress, supporting sleep due to natural serotonin and tryptophan content, substances that calm the nervous system. Bananas also help boost immunity and prevent common age-related illnesses like high blood pressure, fatigue, and anemia. In summary, bananas are the golden fruit that is not only delicious but extremely good for elderly health, but absolutely should not be stored in the fridge when still green or not fully ripe. Keep bananas at room temperature and away from the fridge to preserve their flavor, color, and precious nutrients. This smart storage method helps older adults fully enjoy the benefits of this wonderful fruit every day, contributing to improved health and maintaining mental clarity and freshness in daily life. 4. Dried garlic and onions, essential spices but need proper storage. Dried garlic and onions have long been indispensable ingredients in every kitchen, especially for older adults, as they not only enhance the delicious aroma of dishes but also contain many nutrients beneficial to health. Dried garlic and onions not only boost flavor but also have antibacterial, anti inflammatory properties, support the immune system, and contribute to cardiovascular protection. Factors very important for the elderly. However, despite being essential spices, dried garlic and onions are very easy to spoil if not stored properly, especially when placed in the refrigerator. The cold, humid environment inside the fridge can cause dried garlic and onions to become soft, moldy, or sprout, reducing their quality and nutritional value. This not only affects the flavor when used, but also poses potential health risks if spoiled garlic or onions are accidentally consumed. Older adults should store dried garlic and onions in a dry, well ventilated place, avoiding direct sunlight and high humidity to maintain their crispness, characteristic aroma, and valuable active compounds inside. Containers should be tightly sealed or vacuum packed to limit air and moisture exposure, helping preserve them longer and protect against bacteria and mold growth. Additionally, when buying dried garlic and onions, choose bulbs with shiny outer skins, not soft or darkened, as these are signs of spoilage or poor storage. When using, if any signs of mold or strange odor are detected, discard immediately to avoid harm. Dried garlic and onions also bring many health benefits to the elderly, such as supporting digestion, improving blood circulation, reducing cholesterol, and helping prevent common chronic diseases. Moreover, their anti inflammatory and antibacterial properties strengthen immunity, essential for fighting infections, especially during seasonal changes or epidemics. In summary, dried garlic and onions are golden spices for cooking and protecting the health of older adults. But to maximize these benefits, proper storage and avoiding refrigeration are extremely important. A little care in storage will help keep dried garlic and onions flavorful, nutritious, and safe to use, contributing to improved health and quality of life for the elderly. Four types of food that elderly people must store in the refrigerator. Now, line. For elderly people, proper food storage not only helps preserve nutritional value, but also prevents the risk of food poisoning and bacterial contamination, contributing to long term health protection. There are certain groups of food that absolutely must be kept in the refrigerator to maintain freshness, limit the growth of bacteria and mold, and slow down spoilage. Below are four types of food that elderly people must store in the refrigerator. 1. Fresh meat and fish, essential nutrient sources that require proper storage. Fresh meat and fish are extremely important food sources in the nutrition of elderly people, providing high quality protein, essential vitamins, and minerals that help maintain overall health, especially in building and preserving muscle mass, preventing muscle wasting and weakness commonly seen in older adults. Additionally, fish provides omega-3 fatty acids that have anti inflammatory properties, benefit cardiovascular health, and support brain function. However, fresh meat and fish create an ideal environment for bacteria, mold, and parasites to grow if not stored properly, which is particularly dangerous for elderly people with weakened immune systems, potentially causing illnesses such as food poisoning, diarrhea, stomach pain, and high fever. Therefore, storing meat and fish in the refrigerator at a low temperature of 0 to 4 degrees Celsius is essential to slow down protein decomposition and prevent the growth of microorganisms that spoil food, while preserving flavor, firm texture, and nutritional value. For optimal storage, elderly people should choose fresh, high quality meat and fish at purchase, avoiding products with unusual colors, bad odors, or signs of spoilage. After buying, they should store them immediately in the refrigerator, not leaving them at room temperature for too long, especially in summer, and divide portions into manageable sizes, wrapping tightly with plastic wrap or airtight containers to avoid cross contamination and nutrient loss. Meat and fish should be stored separately in the refrigerator's fresh or frozen compartments, with the freezer maintained at around minus 18 degrees Celsius or lower to preserve food for a long time without nutrient loss. When ready to use, elderly people should thaw meat and fish in the refrigerator rather than at room temperature or in hot water to prevent bacterial growth, and cook immediately after thawing to ensure hygiene. Moreover, elderly people should prioritize fish rich in omega 3 and low in mercury, such as salmon and mackerel, and choose lean meats with low fat to reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease and high blood cholesterol. It is recommended to limit eating raw or undercooked meat and fish to avoid parasitic and bacterial infections and increase fish consumption instead of red meat to aid digestion and protect heart health. Proper storage and consumption of meat and fish not only help elderly people enjoy delicious and nutritious meals, but also contribute to preventing many dangerous diseases, improving quality of life and long term health. 2. Milk and dairy products. Milk and dairy products play an extremely important role in the nutrition of elderly people as they provide a rich source of calcium that helps maintain and strengthen healthy bones, preventing osteoporosis, one of the common and serious diseases in the elderly. Besides calcium, milk also contains vitamin D, high quality protein, vitamin B12, and other essential minerals that support nervous system function, enhance immunity, and improve overall health. However, milk and dairy products such as yogurt, cheese, and butter spoil easily due to rapid microbial growth in the moist and nutrient rich environment if not stored properly. At room temperature, fresh milk or opened milk often sours quickly, degrades, and produces harmful bacteria that can cause food poisoning, digestive disorders, or more serious health issues, especially in elderly people with weaker immune systems compared to younger individuals. Therefore, storing milk and dairy products in the refrigerator is mandatory to preserve quality, flavor, and ensure food safety. Ideally, elderly people should store milk in the refrigerator's fresh compartment at an optimal temperature of about 1 to 4 degrees Celsius to slow bacterial growth and extend shelf life. Products like yogurt should be tightly covered or kept in sealed containers to avoid bacterial contamination from other foods and prevent absorbing odors in the fridge. Cheese should also be wrapped tightly in aluminum foil or plastic wrap to retain moisture and natural flavor. Additionally, elderly people should avoid exposing milk and dairy products directly to sunlight or high temperatures, as this breaks down nutrients and causes faster spoilage. Before use, check the expiration date and smell of the milk to avoid consuming spoiled products. Opened milk should be stored in the refrigerator for no more than 2 to 3 days to ensure quality and health safety. If lactose intolerant, elderly people can choose lactose free milk or alternatives from soy, almond, or oat, but should also store these refrigerated similarly for safety. Maintaining proper storage habits not only helps elderly people enjoy the full nutritional benefits of milk, but also prevents digestive and microbial risks, contributing to improved quality of life and long term health. Therefore, refrigerating milk and dairy products is essential and must not be overlooked to avoid unwanted health consequences and ensure elderly people always have a clean, safe, and rich daily nutrient source. 3. Eggs, washed or peeled. Eggs are one of the most common and highly nutritious foods, playing an important role in the diet of all ages, especially the elderly. Eggs provide a source of high quality, easily absorbed protein, along with many vitamins such as A, D, E, B12, and essential minerals like iron, zinc, and selenium, which help boost the immune system, support muscle development, maintain brain health, and improve vision. For the elderly, adding eggs to their diet not only supplies energy, but also supports physical recovery, maintains flexibility, and prevents age related diseases such as osteoporosis, memory decline, and physical weakness. However, when eggs are washed or peeled, the natural protective membrane on the eggshell is removed, creating favorable conditions for bacteria to enter and grow, increasing the risk of spoilage and food poisoning. This is especially important for elderly people who have weakened immune systems and lower resistance, making them more vulnerable to serious effects when consuming unsafe food. Therefore, eggs that have been washed or peeled must be stored in the refrigerator at an appropriate temperature, usually from 1 to 4 degrees Celsius, to prevent the growth of harmful bacteria and keep the eggs fresh and safe to use. Proper egg storage not only helps maintain the quality and nutritional value of the eggs, but also extends their shelf life, avoiding food waste. After peeling, eggs should be placed in a sealed container or tightly wrapped with plastic wrap to retain moisture, prevent dehydration, and block bacteria from other foods from entering. If eggs are not stored in suitable cold conditions, they easily deteriorate, develop foul odors, change color and texture, reducing nutritional quality and affecting the health of consumers. Moreover, spoiled eggs may contain salmonella bacteria, a dangerous cause of food poisoning with symptoms such as abdominal pain, vomiting, diarrhea, and high fever, especially dangerous for elderly people, children, and those with weak immune systems. Additionally, when using peeled eggs, elderly people should cook them thoroughly to kill any bacteria that may be present, minimizing the risk of poisoning. They should avoid eating raw or undercooked eggs, as this can leave bacteria alive and cause illness. Eating fully cooked eggs also helps the digestive system absorb nutrients better and protects the overall health of elderly individuals. In summary, eggs are a nutritious food suitable for the diverse dietary needs of the elderly. But to fully benefit from eggs while ensuring safety, elderly people need to know how to store eggs properly. Washed or peeled eggs must be kept in the refrigerator at the appropriate temperature, placed in sealed containers, or wrapped tightly to maintain freshness and prevent contamination. When cooking, eggs should be fully cooked to ensure health safety. By paying attention to these important points, eggs will always be a valuable source of nutrition, helping elderly people maintain health, prevent diseases, and live more active, healthier lives every day. 4. Cooked food. Cooked food is an indispensable part of daily meals, especially for the elderly, those with sensitive digestive systems and weakened immunity. Cooking helps eliminate harmful bacteria, making food safer to consume. However, after cooking, food is highly susceptible to contamination or spoilage if not stored properly, particularly at room temperature or in humid environments. Poor storage of cooked food can lead to spoilage and the growth of harmful bacteria such as Clostridium perfringens, Salmonella, or E. coli, common causes of food poisoning, diarrhea, stomach pain, and in severe cases, life-threatening conditions for the elderly. Therefore, to ensure food safety and preserve nutritional quality, cooked food should be refrigerated immediately after the meal or within a maximum of 2 hours after cooking. The ideal storage temperature is usually between 1 to 4 degrees Celsius, which slows bacterial growth and extends the food's usability. When reheating cooked food, elderly people should heat it thoroughly to kill any remaining bacteria, ensuring the food is not only tasty, but also safe for health. Proper storage of cooked food also helps reduce food waste, minimize living costs, and maintain the original flavor and texture of dishes. Additionally, keeping food in sealed containers or wrapped with plastic wrap prevents it from absorbing odors from other foods in the fridge, avoids drying out or discoloration, thereby preserving the highest quality and nutritional value during use. However, it is important not to store cooked food in the refrigerator for too long. Generally, it should be consumed within 2 to 3 days to avoid spoilage, the formation of harmful compounds, or loss of natural delicious flavor. If the food shows signs of discoloration, unusual smell, or a slimy film, elderly people should absolutely not continue using it to avoid the risk of poisoning or digestive problems. In summary, cooked food is a valuable and essential source of nutrition for the elderly, but proper refrigeration is crucial to ensure food safety, maintain health, and improve quality of life. Always remember to keep cooked food cold, store it sealed, and reheat thoroughly before use so that every meal becomes a rich source of energy and nutrients, helping the elderly stay healthy, strengthen their immunity, and effectively prevent diseases.